to another episode of Meet Houston. I am your host, Mika Diamond, and if this is your first time tuning into the show, this is an amazing show. We have so much that we get a chance to discuss and introduce you and all of those who are viewing what is happening in the city of Houston. We have city highlights. We have our favorite restaurant of the week. Sometimes we give some fun facts about all the things that people don't know about the city of Houston. And so we just have a wonderful time here on the show. But today we have an amazing guest co-host that's going to explain to you all of the reasons why I have on this particular color. We have an event that's coming up this weekend, and I had a chance to go to Cabo. So you'll be able to see all of the pictures and some of the video footage so you can see how much fun I had in Cabo. So make sure that you sit right there. We'll be right back with our guest co-host.
Houston's amazing venue, the Hess Club. Plan your special event, occasion, wedding, meetings, and more. 5430 Westheimer in the heart of the Galleria.
Welcome back to Meet Houston, Houston's newest talk show that's talking about everything that's going on within the city. I am so excited to introduce the lady to my right by the name of Miss Kris Bryant, and we both have on purple today. So Kris has an amazing event going on this weekend, but it has a purpose to her event going on this weekend. So we want to make sure that we talk about everything and where this all got started and how special it is to Kris. So welcome, Kris.
Thank you, Mika.
How are you?
I am great. How you doing, sis?
I am doing really well. I'm so excited to sit next to you on our newest talk show, Meet Houston. This is your first appearance on Meet Houston. But we have on a particular color today, and this color is significant to you as well as a whole lot of people for this month. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about this month. Let's talk about why it was important for you to say, Mika, I need you to wear purple today, why you have on purple, and then let's talk about your event this weekend.
Awesome. Well, this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay.
May is Mental Health Month,
Mm-hmm.
and the color for mental health is purple.
Okay.
So it's very important that we represent the purple when we're advocating for mental health,
Wow.
because it also represents royalty.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it happens to be my favorite color, my color of choice. So I had, a bunch of purple in my closet.
Yay.
So it's not only special to you for the color, but Mental Health Month is special to you in a variety of ways. It has a lot of meaning with your own personal story. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the event got started this weekend. Let's talk about, because you have been an advocate for mental health.
Yes.
You have been all over your social media sites as well as interviews talking about mental health. So let's share with the viewers, why is it so important for us to be aware of mental health?
Well, first and foremost, mental health doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care about your race, your mental, how much money you have, if you're famous, if you're not famous. Everyone has been affected by mental illness. I have a personal affinity for mental health advocacy because my mother was diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia in 2001.
Okay.
And at that point, she was well into life
Okay.
and went through a lot of struggles and made a lot of reckless decisions, and we never understood why as her family, and it was kind of hard to be supported, but once we put a diagnosis with those actions, it all started to make sense.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, when did it get to the point of we need to get a diagnosis? Was it something that she chose herself to go to a doctor, or was it something that you as her daughter said, Mom, we need to go get this checked out? What got to the level of we need to get a diagnosis on your mom?
Well, in 2001, I received a call from Corpus Christi Bay Area Hospital.
Okay.
She was there. They had found her, and she was in a coma.
Oh, wow.
At first, she came there. She was as a Jane Doe, but once they finally figured out who she was, one of the nurses actually lived in her apartment and saw her and said, "That's Miss Lisa."
Okay.
And she called me, and they, advised me that she was in a coma. They had found her, and basically she had overdose.
Okay.
My mom went through a lot of addictions, trying to self-medicate, which is what a lot of people with undiagnosed mental illness suffer. That's just the reality. There's things going on, there's voices in your head, and you try to quiet the noise, and a lot of times drugs is a choice that they use.
Right.
So when that happened, me being 7 months pregnant, I packed up my stuff in a U-Haul, me and my 5-year-old, and we moved to Corpus Christi.
Okay.
And she was, getting treatment.
Okay.
She had to go through therapy, learn how to walk again, talk again,
Wow.
all of those, because she was in the coma for 92 days.
Wow. Okay.
So when she came out and kind of went through therapy and started seeking help with like a psychologist and a psychiatrist, that's when she was finally diagnosed. So then it all made sense.
Wow. And you said that your family wasn't as supportive.
No.
why would you think that they wouldn't be as supportive? Of course, it's your family member. And what was it, and how did you feel that it wasn't supportive enough when your mom was going through that?
Well, with many people dealing with mental illness, society sees it as a negative. There's always a negative stigma attached to mental illness. And rather than seek help, especially in our community, they push you out.
Yeah.
They, you become the black sheep.
Yes.
And instead of trying to figure out why you make the choices you make, they just kind of cut you off and say, figure it out on your own. And that's basically, she had, don't let me be facetious, we had family members that were very supportive, but in her mind, everyone was against her because nobody understood what was going on with her.
And didn't want to go and get the education behind it in order to understand some of the things that she was doing that had adverse effects on her because of her mental state.
Exactly.
Wow. And as in our culture, and I'm speaking for our culture, but our culture, you're right, we diagnose ourselves. And a lot of times we want to just give names, they bad.
Yeah.
Or we want to give them,
so crazy.
Right, instead of actually going to see someone to diagnose you for those things.
Right.
So let's talk about what happened from that point. You moved to Corpus Christi.
I did.
You left Corpus Christi in what year?
I left and came back to Corpus Christi in 2002.
In 2002, okay.
Because I'm a native Houstonian and I love my city. And, once I felt like she was in a recovery state and she had started back, being happy or what looked like happiness, I felt like it was safe enough to, leave her there because that's where she wanted to go. I offered her to come back to Houston, but she was like, no, I feel safe here.
Yeah.
And so I understood that.
Right.
She didn't have the shadows in Corpus Christi that she had in Houston. Everybody didn't know her secrets. So it was a safe place for her, and I very well understood that.
Right.
But myself personally, I was homesick.
Yeah.
So I packed up and me and my family moved back to Houston.
So let's take us from that day. Let's take us from that year, to 3 years ago. You decided to put on an event that's now 3 years old, annual event. So definitely salute to you for carrying out this event and having passion for it and continue to educate us on mental health. But take us from that moment up until 3 years ago.
In 2015, she suffered a stroke. She had been on psychotropic drugs. They were giving her a lot of different things to try to stabilize her, trying to see what would work best with her chemistry, because mental illness is basically a chemical imbalance. And because of those different trials and errors that they went through, she encountered another stroke, a stroke. And this was in 2015. When she came out of that stroke, this time she was diagnosed with what was called an early onset of dementia. So she didn't know who she was.
Right.
She didn't know who I was. She didn't even know what year it was. So again, I had to go to Corpus Christi, pack my mom's things, and move her to Houston.
Right, okay.
And as I stated earlier, I was really her main source of care.
Right,
And as I stated, I didn't have a lot of support. So it became very overwhelming for myself.
I can see that, yeah.
My mom was now my child. So I'm changing diapers, fixing meals, dealing with sundowners. If you don't know what that is, it's about time the sun go down. People with dementia get a little frazzled.
Right.
So she would wander off. I had to change my whole house setting, make locks that she was unable to get out of, because many nights I was walking down my neighborhood looking for my mom in a diaper and a t-shirt.
Wow.
Very difficult. And I found myself beginning to get into a sense of depression. I was very sad because my life no longer was my own.
Right.
With that being said, I knew that I had to do something. I had to do something to keep myself stable. So I decided to put on a mental awareness event, which I titled Rated X.
Right, okay.
Reason being, I wanted to X out mental illness with healthy outlets. Because there are healthy outlets. And I just sat many nights writing what I wanted it to look like, writing what I wanted it to achieve, writing how, when, what. And once I got a full program together, I started seeking people to assist me. I started reaching out to the doctors that I knew, the therapists that I knew, and I explained to them what it was that I was trying to do. And I got so much support.
Wow.
First year, my mom was able to be there. She didn't know what was going on, really, but she was very astonished by all the people that walked over to her and hugged her and said, we love you. I had a picture of her when she walked in because it was for her.
Right.
It was my way of giving back to her and for her.
Right.
That was the first year.
Wow. So it's so much more that we want to talk about with Kris about Rated X that's happening this weekend. And although her mother was not here for the last one, and she won't be here for this one, she's still here in spirit. So we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this weekend. What do we need to look forward to? Who is going to attend? And how can we contribute to donating towards this weekend's event and beyond? So y'all make sure that you stay tuned with me.
It's tax time. Your money, you keep it. CPAs and fraud examiners. Kenneth has over 20 years experience on tax preparation and will personally examine every return for accuracy and compliance with IRS laws. Is the IRS picking on you? Call Kenneth, CPA and fraud examiner now.
I've been with Kenneth for over a decade, and I have 2 businesses in the marine industry, and he has been a savior with our taxes.
Call Kenneth O'Dyke, CPAs and fraud examiners today.
We are back on another episode of Meet Houston, and we have had an awesome time speaking with Miss Kris Bryant, who has an event called Rated X this weekend. We have went through the first 2 years, and now we're in year 3. So we want everyone to know what to expect about the event this weekend. Who will be there? How can we contribute? How not only this weekend but beyond this weekend? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Rated X this weekend.
All right, it's going to be at the Isles,
Okay.
1515 P Street
Okay.
in Midtown. It's going to be from 2 to 6 p.m. I'm excited because this year I have a keynote speaker.
Wow.
Her name is Helena Washington, and she's a child advocate therapist.
Okay.
This year I decided to do and focus on the youth and the young adults.
Awesome. And the youth and the young adults definitely need someone to not only hold them accountable, but educate. And parents need to be educated on if their child is suffering with some type of mental illness as well. So it's this Saturday. It starts at noon.
2 to 6 p.m.
2 to 6 p.m. and it's at the Isle. So how can we get tickets? How can others contribute? Who are they contributing to? Let's talk about that as well.
Every year I've always highlighted a nonprofit.
Okay.
This year I decided to do Your Village, which is, the founder is Letisa B., who's my sister, and I love her dearly, and I'm so excited about what she's doing.
Yes.
So that's who all the contributions will be going to.
Okay.
Go to Eventbrite, type in Rated X, get your ticket. They're only $10, and there's also a portion on there where you can make a donation. Please sow into Your Village.
Awesome. Yes, sow into the village, sow into just learning and being more educated on mental health. And we definitely salute you, everyone who has contributed this year, who has contributed the previous years, because we have to be educated, and we have to know that you need to go to the doctor and be diagnosed and not just keep going as if nothing is happening, and be supportive as a family member. So thank you so much. Will you stick around with me for the rest of the show?
Definitely. I'm excited.
All right. Well, we thank you so much. This Saturday, Eventbrite, $10 from 2 to 6 at the Isle. Rated X with so many others who's going to contribute to this weekend's event. We'll be right back. I have some biz features of the week to discuss. I have a favorite restaurant, and also we're going to talk about my trip to Cabo. So y'all stay connected with me. With Miss Kris Bryant, who's sharing the studio with us today, and we are so excited about Rated X this weekend. So congratulations again on this weekend. But now let's talk about a biz feature of the week. So on Meet Houston, I myself as a host, I go and I look at businesses who are doing well. Either they're giving back to the community or they are just super busy. So I had the opportunity to meet with Stomp Factory, which is a dance stomp group that is here in the city of Houston. They do events with the Astros. They're always contributing to others, to schools and nonprofit organizations. So congratulations to Stomp Factory. Stomp Factory. So that is our biz feature of the week. And then I had the opportunity to go to Cabo. I had the opportunity to go to Cabo, see the blue waters, for the Bear Conference with One Embrace nonprofit organization, which was really, did you see all my pictures on Facebook?
Girl, y'all look like y'all had so much fun.
We had a good time. I got a chance to get on the jet skis. I got a chance to get some prayer ins. We had some yoga on the beach. So I had a great time in Cabo with some phenomenal ladies and a couple of gentlemen. So shout out to everyone who was there. Thank you for the like of my pictures. I thought I had it going on. So that was Cabo. And then, girl, I had some crawfish.
In Cabo?
No, here in the city
okay.
of Houston. So, I feel like I'm a crawfish connoisseur, right? Every week I try to get me some crawfish from somewhere. But I went to 7 Spice in Pearland. And when I tell you the crawfish were good in size, they had flavor on the top and on the inside.
Yes.
It was juicy, not dry. I had a really good time at 7 Spice. So if you are in the city of Houston and you're looking for some good crawfish, and I said I was going to keep it a secret, because
you can't keep stuff like that a secret.
I didn't want the line to be outside, and I didn't get a chance to get my own seat. But 7 Spice and Pearland has some phenomenal crawfish. So if you want some crawfish, if you're a crawfish connoisseur like myself, make sure that you go to 7 Spice and Pearland. So
I'm going to have to go check them out.
yeah, you need to, because it was super good. But listen, don't tell everybody my secret now.
We're going to keep it quiet. Keep it on the low.
So today's episode of Meet Houston was great. I had the opportunity to just share the studio with Kris Bryant. I'm super excited again about this weekend. If you cannot attend the event this weekend, you can definitely go on Eventbrite. You can contribute to the organization's name.
It's called Your Village.
Your Village with Miss Latisa B. Donate and give some contributions to learning more about mental health. Not only is it a personal experience and spirit for Kris and her mom and her family, but all of you who have youth that have some things that are going on with them mentally, you can be educated as well. So tickets are $10. You can go to an Eventbrite and you can get your tickets. So you can be educated and have a good time in support of those who are suffering or want to learn more about mental health. So thank you so much. Congratulations to Stump Factory as my biz feature of the week, my favorite restaurant of the week, 7 Spice with some spicy crawfish. So thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Meet Houston. Make sure that you follow all of our social media sites, Houston Public Access TV on Instagram, as well as GMT Media Broadcasting Company on Instagram and Facebook as well. We are on Houston Public Access TV every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure that you spread the news, tell us more about what's going on in Houston, and be a witness. Y'all have a good day.